Hi, I'm your host Kyle Huckins, and welcome to another edition of Huckins on Film. I actually did a review of this the other day. It didn't quite work out the way I wanted, so redid it recently. Actually, I just finished rewatching for the second time Manborg. Yeah. Look at that cover. Just how can you not love this movie just from this cover alone? Well, that is absolutely gorgeous. Now, it's one of those things. It's one of those reasons I knew I was going to love this movie the second I opened it. Like, wow, they actually put work into the cover. You know, this wasn't like when the From Beyond got the pre-Scream Factory release, where it just, oh, that was the crappiest 3 minutes of Photoshop I've ever seen. But see, you got your post-apocalypse there, your villain here, Manborg proudly in the. Seriously, tell me you wouldn't read the shit out of this comic book, which is totally what it looks like. And I'm obviously done intentionally, but come on, you'd pick this up, you'd read it, and you'd be amazed. First heard about this from Diamanda Hagen talking about it. I'm a big fan of her stuff, so I've gotten to know a lot of movies from her reviews, so she talks of a movie like this, I'm interested. And I'm glad she did, because Manborg is a fucking blast. It really is. Only one can really describe this movie is, imagine just taking absolutely everything you love, throwing it in a blender, and then pouring it in front of a camera. That's pretty much what this is. Now, you can tell these guys definitely love their anime. I'm not really an anime fan, but you can tell all the touches in here, mainly with the character Mina. You know, you'd have the speed lines, the wing noise. Yep. And every time she kills someone, it's just completely anime. But the story itself, it really plays out kind of like a mixture of RoboCop and Doom. Not the movie, the game. It kind of feels like a sequel to Doom, where the Marine failed and hell actually got through to Earth. This is where that would pick up from. Hell, the character of Manborg himself, his death as a human is... it's not as brutal as Alex Murphy's death in RoboCop, but it was clearly an inspiration. Hell, there's even a training montage in here. That's totally the factory training montage after RoboCop takes that beating from Ed 209 trying to arrest Dick Jones. So all kinds of love for RoboCop in this flick. Okay with that, RoboCop was awesome. In fact, little tangent, if you ever get a chance to see the Canadian RoboCop Prime Directives miniseries, do it. It's pretty damn good. I'd say it's better than RoboCop 2 was. Shame they never made a RoboCop 3. Anyway, back to Manborg. Manborg ends up meeting up with the group of resistance fighters. Mina, her brother Justice, who's Australian, but she's not. And of course, they've got Number One Man. Number One Man can actually be the hero of this movie. He's a straight up martial arts fighter. And he's purposely badly dubbed. You know, it's like that Godfrey Ho dubbing where the character's mouth is saying those words, the words that are coming out, but they're like a quarter of a second off. It's really funny. And of course, all of his dialogue, very heavy-handed, very stilted. No one would talk like that. So, yeah, this is one of those movies where you could just tell everyone involved was saying, fuck it, we'll throw it in. Hell, most of your main villains are wearing black leather with red armbands, a white circle, and a black symbol. It's like, didn't actually put the swastika in there, but you thought about it, didn't you? Just to make it clear that our villains are, in fact, evil. As though killing most of the human population of Earth didn't make that clear enough. And the villains in this are pretty good. The head one is Count Draculon, who's not in the movie all that much. The main villain or two main villains you end up dealing with are Shadow Mega and the Baron. Baron is the second in command. He's really funny. His makeup's great too. He's just, he looks like some kind of hell demon who had his eyes ripped out by Number One Man. But he's more or less just kind of a spineless bureaucrat. He's actually pretty. He's comic relief, to be honest. Especially after Manborg, Number One Man, Mina, and Justice are captured, because he takes one look at Mina and he got a pretty love-struck demon. Not that I blame him. Mina's a rather attractive woman. Leads to one of my all-time favorite to one of the great lines in this movie. And this movie's got some great dialogue to it. But they escape just as he is about to bring her flowers. And he sits down, he's all depressed that she's gone. He said, "You may have been prisoner number 7 here, but to me, you were always prisoner number 1. I would love to know how many takes they needed to get that, because the line cracks me the hell up. I don't know how they kept a straight face. Shadow Mega is his second in command, who's actually, I believe Mina's best friend, they were separated, and Shadow Mega was converted to some kind of Killborg hellbeast. I mean, she has a human form for most of the movie, but it's just a facade. They don't do all that much with her. Yeah, I mean, I would say my favorite character in this is probably the Baron. Which is strange, because it's supposed to be this post-apocalyptic tale about hell conquering the world. And the evil second in command is just kind of a goofball. Not on purpose, but this is a movie where stuff like that works. Because it's not worried about itself at all. This movie, it doesn't take itself the slightest bit seriously. Which can be a beautiful thing. It's just, everything is so over the top and out of control. Restraint was not called for. Another thing I love about this movie is the overall look of it. Because obviously they had to green screen the hell out of everything. All the backgrounds are of places that don't exist. And I think part of this is due to the way Number One Man is dressed. But, he's just a shirtless guy with black pants. It looks like he's straight out of Mortal Kombat. So the whole movie really has kind of a Mortal Kombat FMV look to it. Again, this movie, it's so not grounded in reality that the fact that it's so over-stylized just doesn't matter. I think it's also what helps me with the whole Baron being kind of funny thing. Is this just there's no kind of reality for this movie to be grounded in. It's no. it's just going to be an hour of stuff getting killed, and you're going to be having a blast watching it. Yeah, this movie's only an hour long. So even if you don't like it, it's as long as an episode of Walking Dead. You know, it's not one of those, I can't believe I spent that much time watching. It's like, even if you hate it, it's like, it was an hour. How mad can you really get about that? But yeah, like I said, this movie's just so much fun. Oh, another thing that reminds me of Doom, during the Manborg training montage, they show his arm, and his arm's just got like a fuck ton of guns on it when he wants it to. And you see the gun in the corner, you're seeing things through his eye. So everything has that first-person shooter perspective. Just in case you didn't figure out, these guys like Doom. Also, visually, they use a lot of stop-motion animation in this. And like I said, the movie itself, it just looks so unrealistic that the stop-motion animation, it doesn't really stand out in any way. It doesn't cause you to, it doesn't separate you from the movie. Because everything's already so disjointed and chaotic. That stop-motion Killborgs really kind of fit in there perfectly. It's very much a universe of, yeah, that could happen. It really wouldn't matter what it is. After the movie, they have a trailer for, I don't know if this is a movie they're going to make or if it's just a joke trailer. I'm kind of hoping it's a movie. It's called BioCop. And basically, imagine if the Amazing Melting Man was a cop. It's incredibly funny. Because the main thing BioCop says, like, oh, why am I alive? Because he's just a melting disaster, and you assume he's just in a great deal of pain. All that he would like to be dead. And of course, he's got a partner who's completely normal. And the whole thing looks like a Lethal Weapon knockoff if you replaced Mel Gibson with the Incredible Melting Man. So I hope they do a full length of it, because it looks like that could be a lot of fun. That also just reminded me of another great line from the Baron in the movie. He's talking to the president, I forget who says something. Oh, he says something to me about trying to court me, and she just says, I'd rather be dead. And the Baron's just like, we have something in common. We can get a little bleak and suicidal with the Astron 6. That's the Canadian film group that did this. They've also put out a DVD full of their short films. They did another movie called Father's Day, which I'm going to get because, you know what, with Manborg, you've already won me over. And Father's Day just sounds like a really crazy neo-exploitation film. And hey, I'm always up for a good exploitation film. But yeah, get the chance to get your hands on Manborg, do it. Another thing, after BioCop, they've got the piracy warning. Read it. It's really long, and it gets goofy as hell. It's actually, wow, these guys tried to just make the whole thing entertaining. I salute that. You know, it's not like the airplane credits where there are just non sequiturs thrown in. It's their context, like, it actually ties into the warning itself. It's really funny. And the best part about this, I'm already raving about this DVD. I haven't even gotten to the extras yet. I'm sure they're going to be awesome. Because they're... looks like there's 3 different commentaries on here. deleted alternate scenes, bloopers, behind the scenes, a stop motion montage, visual effects montage, another short film, interviews, and the Q&A from the premiere. So they really just tried to cram as much fun into this as they possibly could. And you know what? Kudos, because you succeeded, guys. You totally pulled it off. You know, all that and more in an hour. Yeah, I need my next Steven Kostansky film, and I need it now. Anyway, Astron 6, well done. It's Kyle Huckins for Huckins on Film. Fucking off.